Hello, welcome to How to Fix a Google Ads Search Campaign, where the goal is to take you from this to this. We can see here the conversions went up from this week and week of, that's when I started working with this particular client that I took these screenshots from. February 28th, they had one conversion, took them all the way up to almost 70, and then we pulled back a little bit after that. Conversion rate went from 0.27% to almost as high as 16%, and we've leveled off somewhere over 10%. Click-through rate went from terrible, almost like 1% down here to 13%, and cost per conversions went from pretty high, almost $400 to rock bottom prices. That's what we want to see. So how do I know how to do this? Here's some stats, but basically I spent $10 million across Facebook and Instagram, and I've made about $20 million on these platforms for my clients. So, who are you, though? The more important question. You have Google Ads running, and they're not performing as well as you'd like. You have a decent offer, and you have sold your services previously. You have customers. What will I cover? My 7-figure audit process, the 3 most important KPIs to a healthy meta ads campaign, how to fix click-through rate, how to fix conversion rate, how to build a landing page, and a quick example. Let's go. What I'm not going to cover, how to build a campaign from scratch, which is both simpler and harder to do than what I'm going to talk about here. I'll cover it in another video. Sales processes, including automated follow-up and sales scripts, which is very important for lead gen, obviously. How to build an offer. You're on your own. Come up with an offer launch ads, then come back here. What ads are not going to fix? Your landing page, but I will cover how to build a landing page here. They're not going to fix your sales process, and they're not going to fix your offer. Now, if you're watching this in my school group, the reason I'm not covering these is because I'm probably going to make other videos on them, but they're pretty complicated and drawn out processes, and I don't know if I'm necessarily the best person to talk about sales process and offers. Tremosi has a great book on offers and some videos on sales, but really this is about Google Ads and Facebook ads in this group. How to be a media buyer, and we don't deal a lot with sales processes and offers, so that's why I'm not going to cover that. If you're a business owner watching this, you really do need to nail these down. No way around it. Your ads will only get you so far, but you're gonna need more than this, but you're definitely gonna need those. Anyways, what do ads do? So if they don't fix these things, what do they do? They give you traffic, period, end of story, that's it. It's advertising. It makes your stuff known. The end goal of ads is a high click-through rate. Yeah, a lot of people want to say it's conversions, but no. Conversions is the job of the website, the landing page, your salespeople, your Etsy store, your Amazon store. Ads just get people there. That's it. So having a really high click-through rate, having a high view rate, having a lot of people click on your ads, watch your ads, etc. That's what ads do. They give you attention, and ideally those people click on your ads, and then you get traffic. It's not conversions. We will talk a little bit about that here, but if you have great CTR and you're telling your ad guy, my ads aren't working, or if someone's telling you, my ads aren't working, they're wrong. No. It still might have to be a responsibility to try to fix it somehow, but ads give clicks and traffic. That's it. They can have an effect on the sales process, but by and large, SQL issues are sales issues and not ad issues. What do I mean by that? So the ads, we don't just set up ads and send any traffic. So we do want to send qualified traffic. So because qualified traffic is more likely to convert down funnel during the sales process. We don't want to say things in our ads. We don't want to show our ads to people and places that are irrelevant for our sales process. That being said, if you're watching this video and you're running Google ads, that's the best place you could run ads. It's the most highly qualified traffic you could have. So if you just get your keywords set up right, you get your ad, which I'm going to show you how keywords and headlines play with each other, they can have an effect on the sales process. But if you're already on Google, you're already 90% of the work is already done for you, to be honest. What ads do is they hook attention, retain that attention for a few seconds to a few minutes, and they drive that attention to a focal point. That is it. So let's jump into how to audit your issues, right? If you have an account, you're not happy with their account, so we got to figure out why you're not happy with it. So we start with a long timeline, 90 days or longer if possible. This shows the overall stable performance. And then what we want to do is zoom in and look at the 30 days, the 14 days, and the 7 days to see the trend. So if we are looking at 90, the more data you have, the more true that data is. So if you have 90 days worth of data, let's say click data, that's how many clicks you're getting, right? That's your click-through rate. That's your cost per click. Then we're going to want to look at 30 days, 14 days, and 7 days to see, is that stable performance going to change? Is it going to go up or down? That's really all we want to know. And we repeat this process at the campaign level, at the ad group level, the keyword level, and the ads level to know what we might need to change. So if we see something bad while we're zooming in and looking at the 30, 14, 7, let's say we have our click-through rate. We have 90 days, right? Like our click-through rate is 10%. Great. 30 days, it's 5%. Oh, no, that's not good. 14 days, it's 3%. 7 days, it's 1%. That's bad. That's a clear decline in trends. Right, so okay, we got to look at the ads, we got to look at the keywords, we got to look at the ad groups to figure out why is that happening and what to fix. So what are we actually looking at when we do this process? We're looking at the click-through rate, as I just mentioned, which is clicks divided by impressions. Obviously, in Google Ads, you can just select to look at the click-through rate. But if you wanted to do it manually or you want to understand it deeper, this is all it is you take the amount of clicks you got divided by the amount of impressions. So if you got 10 clicks and you had 100 impressions, 10% click-through rate, right? Pretty simple. The cost per click, very important. How much? This is what you're actually paying for. The RTB, real-time bidding strategy on Google, this is what you're actually paying for is your cost per click. You're paying for a click. Every time someone clicks on your ad, you get charged. Finally, conversion rate. Conversions divided by clicks. Ultimately, we really do care about conversion rate, and it does come into play later because it gives us important feedback about what I was talking about earlier. If we're sending quality traffic, it's what we want to know. We're not responsible for conversions as media buyers, but we do want to send quality traffic. And so if conversion rates are low, no one's going to care about how many clicks you send. So we do kind of have to make sure our quality is a little bit up. So here's all three of them and their abbreviations. So based on the three golden KPIs, as I call them, what we can do is by comparing them, we can figure out if we need to fix the conversion tracking or the landing page, the bid strategy, or the keywords. Usually, it's the headlines of the ads matching the keywords. I'll just give you a little sneak peek, and usually it's conversion tracking. Bid strategy, as long as you're using conversion rate or max conversions or max clicks, you're fine. If you're in an expensive industry, you might want to cap the amount you pay for a click by setting a max CPC. That's really all. There are more fancy bidding strategies, but their use cases are on the edge, and max clicks, max conversions will get you 90% of the way there. So if you're keeping track, you're already on Google Ads, 90% of the way there. Use max clicks, max conversions, another 90% of the way there. So that fixes most issues as long as you'll see how as long as you have a high CTR, which we're going to look at right now. So the benchmarks are 5% click-through rate and 5% conversion rate. These are like, if you don't have these, you need to get to work. If you're above these, you're probably good. And so how do we get there? So if your click-through rate is actually below 5%, basically you may not have the right keywords. Your ads don't promise to fill the searcher's intent based on those keywords. I'm not going to go a ton into keywords here because I don't know what business you're working on, so it'd be rather impossible for me to cover every possible thing you can do with keywords. But it's not rocket science. Like, people go to Google and they type in pretty basic stuff. I'm sure you've used Google, right? How did you find this? and then you just echo it. So here we go. How to fix your ad. So you look at your keywords and your search terms report, and then you look for any irrelevant keywords in there. That's it. If you're offering, if you're offering widgets and someone's looking for a service, well, okay, that's irrelevant. If you're offering a service and people are looking for widgets, that's irrelevant. It's pretty common sense. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into worrying about keywords, when what I have found is keywords are very simple. Either you know the business or someone else knows the business, just ask them. What do people search? What do people talk about? Right? Especially with AI these days, you can come up with a ton of keywords. It's not a huge deal. There's no advanced, hardcore ninja keyword strategies that are going to save you. You just need the basic keywords. And just make sure that they repeat in your headline. This is the key. Not enough people focus on this. Too many people focus on, oh, we need to get better keywords, and not enough people focus on repeating those keywords in their headlines. So, basically, if someone says how to run Google Ads, your ad should say get Google Ads help here, or we run Google Ads here. Click here for Google Ads services. That's it. It's not crazy, right? And if you're paying for if you're offering Google Ads services, what do you think the keywords are? Probably how to run Google Ads, how to fix Google Ads, Google Ads aren't working, Google Ads services, right? And then you just say get Google Ads stuff here, get Google Ads services here, Google Ads here, click here, Google Ads, yada, yada, yada. That's how you do it. And you would repeat that for Facebook ads. You would repeat that for if you're a window washer, right? Window washing companies near me. Get window washing near you. That's how it is. Another thing people do not do, that's very important, is they don't use all the headline spots and all the description spots. Fill out all the headlines and fill out all the descriptions. There's 15 headline spots and there's 4 description spots. You should be able to come up with 15 headlines. Why is it important? Because it gives you 40,000 permutations for testing. That's huge. 40,000 combinations, very important. You only need 1 or 2 RSAs, and you can probably cover every combination for this business. So you're going to end up with, let's say, 2 to 5 handfuls of keywords, right? And, so like 5 to 25 headlines, or 5 to 25 keywords, and then you're going to have 2 to 3 RSAs total in the entire campaign, and maybe even the entire account. No joke. It works really well. But, okay, so you do everything I just said. You fix your click-through rate. It's now going to be above 5%, I promise. But your conversion rate is under 5%. What do we do? Well, first thing is, are we actually tracking conversions properly? The number one issue I see with conversions is people aren't tracking them properly, period. Are we tracking the right events? And are we even tracking events? Some people are literally not tracking anything. Some people are tracking website visits as conversions. So we don't want that. Some people don't have it set up at all. Literally nothing's coming in. So we want to make sure we have data coming in, and we want to make sure we're tracking what we actually want to be tracking. This can be advanced, but really what I just basically do, especially for lead gen, is just after someone fills out a form, send them to a thank you page. Boom, that's a conversion. E-commerce, obviously, when they pay you, that's a conversion, right? And you can set up micro conversions. It's a little bit more advanced than I probably want to get into right now, but simply set it up like this. So when they hit a page, when the page loads and it fits this URL, boom, that's a conversion. Like, it's pretty simple. And then you just make sure, however you've set up your funnel, your website, etc., that the only way people can get here is from taking that action, and then that's the conversion. Just make it look like this. You're good to go. So once you know that your tracking is set up properly, right? Once it looks like this, then it's time to fix your landing page, which most people will come in here and they'll say, our landing page is optimized really well. And it's like, okay, so how many conversions are you? Oh, we're not getting any conversions yet. Then your landing page isn't optimized, period. So How do you build it right? You need to do a landing page needs to do three things. Clearly state who you are with a normal, not sketch URL and TLD. This is more my personal preference, to be honest. I think this is important. It might not be as important as I think it is, but I think having a simple URL with a .com top-level domain, we do Google Ads here.com, Google Ads Services.com, something like that. Not like we with a 3, do rockstar stuff xyz.us. That's a weird URL. People are just going to automatically think this is a spam site. At least that's what I think. You also want to make sure, again, you echo the promise by the ads. Guys, this isn't crazy. It's not rocket science. People go to Google because they want to buy something. They type in the search, I want to buy this thing. Your ad says, hey, we got this thing. And then your landing page should say, click here to get this thing. Just repeat the same thing over and over again. I want Google Ads. We got Google Ads. Click here. They go to the landing page. It says, interested in Google Ads? Click here. Book a call. Right? That's really as crazy as it gets. And then you spend the rest of the time providing as much proof as possible for those that need a little push to take action. But I want to take a step back. Why am I sticking on this point? Because people want to get clever. They want to say like, ooh, you need an ads ninja, right? Or discover the 7 crazy ways to never lose money. No, dude, just say like, dude, is this the thing you want? Like, I got it. Click here. And then prove to them why they should do that. Just like you were talking to a person in real life. You're like, oh man, my ads aren't working. You go, oh, you need ads help? I can fix your ads. I've done, I've helped this person, this person, and this person. Right? Oh, no way, sick. Will you take a look? Like, that's what you gotta do. So 80% should really be as much proof as possible. But your headline and your above the fold is going to do most of the work. Some people will just sign up right away. Some people want to read through all your proof. That's fine. Make sure it's there. Case studies, data, videos like this, whatever you can put together for them that would make them trust you a little bit more. That's what you got to do. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be case studies. It doesn't have to be reviews. Those are great, but don't forget, you need to get them to trust you. So however you do that best, for me personally, making videos like this works really well. I have clients all the time tell me, oh, I saw that video. It seems like you really know what you're talking about. So making videos like this actually I think works better than my reviews and my case studies, because this is actually showing them in real time, look, I know what I'm talking about. This will fix all your stuff. Just like you, if you're watching this, go try this. It'll fix all your stuff. So you want to provide as much proof as possible for those that need a little push to take action. That can take a number of different forms. The standard is reviews, testimonials, case studies, awards, data, right? But videos of you talking about stuff works really well also. So here's a nice template for you. Just use it. It shows up everywhere for a reason. It's been tested with billions of dollars over the last, 10, 15 years. Not by me, by the entire industry. So this is not my, personal bias. Like, use this template. I blew it up here so you can see it. Point first headline that clearly states the value of the page objective. So get Google Ads help here. Subheadline that explains as to or intensifies the statement. Stop losing money. Yeah, this is where you can get a little fancy with your copywriting. Stop losing money. We're got great prices for the next 10 people, something yada yada. And then you want to kind of break up more stuff here and then give them bullet points. Very important. I like to put in the bullet points, what are they going to get? So we will improve we're going to get you more sales with Google Ads. We're going to increase your click. We're going to give you a 100-point audit. We're going to give you a customized strategy, and you're never going to have to worry about Google Ads again, something. I would workshop these. I'm coming up with these off the top of my head. And then down here, the additional supporting content, that's where you put your proof, as I was just talking about. And then over here is a call to action. I like to put my form here. Some people prefer it at the bottom. I've always noticed that putting the form here works better than not putting the form there. Most people, if you do this above the fold correctly, will just sign up. People say, oh, what if they need, like, I need more information before I'm ready to sign up. Make sure all the information is here. Now, if they want to scroll and there's more information down there, fine, but all your strongest information should be right here. You don't even need to scroll. Like, it should, everything they need to take to make a decision should be right here. But just follow this template. Play around with it if you want, but this is the way to do it, I promise. Here's some bonus tips for you. Don't look at day-to-day data. You'll drive yourself nuts, and use videos when possible. If that doesn't work, you probably have an offer problem. Nobody in your target market wants what you're selling. So if you've done everything in this video and you got your CTR above 5% and you use the template on your landing page and no one's buying and your conversion rate is set up properly or your conversion tracking is set up properly, there's something wrong with your offer. Nobody in your target market wants what you're selling. You're either talking about it wrong or your offer's not strong enough. Every ad that has something someone wants will get more clicks more than 1%. Really should be 5% of the time, but definitely 1% of the time. And conversion rates should be about 1 to 2 to 3% of the time anyways. If that's not happening, nobody wants what you're selling. So let's look at a real example. They came to me that very low lead quality. I was brought in to improve that. And so here we start at the 6 months. Look at this, October 1 to April 8th. I started at the 6 month mark. See how stable this data is? Really good data, really good stable data. These long straight lines is what we're looking at. Even if they bounce around a little bit, that's okay if they're like kind of within a band. But so the first thing we look at is the conversion rate and the click-through rate. Do you remember the benchmarks from earlier? Those are too low, right? Your conversion rate and your click-through rate really give you your cost per conversion. This is the number that matters a ton because it determines how many conversions you get based on your budget. If I have $64 cost per conversion and I spend $640 a day, that's 10 conversions a day, right? So cost per conversion, really important, but it is a slave to the conversion rate and the click-through rate. The more people click on your ads, the more people convert, the lower your cost per conversion will be. So it's the most important number really to report to the client, but there's nothing about how we control it is through conversion rate and click-through rate, period. Your client cares about these numbers. We care about these numbers because these are the levers. We need to get these higher so we can get the cost per conversion down and the conversions up. If we doubled conversion rate, cost per conversion would cut in half, right? And then our conversions would go way up. So that's 6 months. So this is their true stats because this is 6 month stats. So this is very true. Then we want to look at the last 90 days. What's happening? Look at that conversion rate. It went down. Look at that click-through rate. It also went down. That's terrible. Look at that cost per conversion. It went up. That's not good, right? And this is half the 6 months. So we actually have more conversions than half, which is not bad. But conversions can also be, the reason I kind of avoid talking about conversions a lot is it can be a function of spend. If you have someone who spends $10,000 a month, they're going to have a lot more conversions than someone who spends $1,000 a month. And if someone spends $100,000 a month, they're going to have more conversions than both of them, even if none of this stuff is set up right. So I'm trying to level this for you by focusing on what we can control, which is the conversion rate and the click-through rate. So that's bad. So that's a bad trend. Conversion rate and click-through rate going down. Then we look at 30 days. They went down again. Well, click-through rate went up a little bit, actually. Click-through rate was the highest it's been, but it went from 3% to 3.25%. Like, that's not a huge change. And the conversion rate is tanking. You'll see that sometimes if you get more clicks to your landing page, actually your conversion rate goes down because now you have a bigger number on the bottom. That's why. But this is bad. So we went from 3.17 to 2.87. This campaign's in trouble. So now what we need to do is go look at the keywords, right? And when you want to perform this exact 6-month, 90-day, 30-day for ad groups, ads, and keywords. And then we want to see, okay, what keywords do we have? Are we repeating them? Are there any irrelevant keywords? Are we repeating them in the headlines of the ads? Are we repeating them on the landing page? Boom. Write new copy for the ads. Pause any keywords that are irrelevant. That's going to boost our click-through rate. Make sure our conversion tracking is set up properly. Go look at the landing page. Rewrite the landing page to follow that template I showed you, and you will get the data, the increase in data that I showed in the beginning of this presentation. I hope you found that useful. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace.